Hello, friends. I am Geoff Fienberg back here with you for another edition of PGA Tour Picks for oddschecker.com/US. And it's here. It snuck up on me, but Masters Week is here. Clearly one of the pinnacle sporting events on anyone's calendar, certainly mine. I've joked before. I'll go just put it out there. I have a fetish for major championship golf, and we are here. It is time for the Masters. I've got an amazing guest to break down this year's field with you as we try to find a winner, get back in winner's circle, me personally, certainly. But before I do that, just want to let you know an opportunity to win a free $100 from DraftKings Sportsbook. All you've got to do is like this video, sub to the Odds Checker feed, and leave a comment who you think is going to win the 2021 Masters along with your Twitter feed. We will announce a winner on Wednesday. You don't even have to pick the winner to enter, so pick anybody you want. Pick anyone. I don't know, you could pick my guy, Danny Willett, literally. You're just as good of a chance. Pick a winner in the comment feed, sub to the feed, and like the video. You are entered to win a free $100 from DraftKings Sportsbook, and let's get right into it. Let me bring in the founder of RickRunGood.com, Rick Gehman. You can find him on Twitter at RickRunGood. He's all over the place. Find his content this week for the Masters. It'll be everywhere. Find it on the Twitter feed. But before that, let's break it down. Rick, happy to have you with me.
Geoff, absolutely stoked to be here with you. Thank you very much. I'm still coming down from the November version of the Masters, and we're gearing up again. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Like you, it kind of really did sneak up on me. The fact that it just played in November, it's just half a year later. Here we are again with, some new entries to the top of the board. Looking to talk about that with you. Give my picks at the moment as I try to find my way to a betting card before we get to our final videos. I know you've got some bets already made. You are looking forward to sharing them with us. We are going to use that odds checker grid to help you find the best number. Picking a winner is certainly hard. So when we do, we like to get the most we can for it because, well, there's a couple people that are showing up on mine and Rick's radar. And I'll tell you what, if they win, you better get the best number because it's a big ass. But before we get to the big ass, let's stick at the top of the board. DJ, clearly the chalk, coming in at 9-1. It's the best number available on the odds checker grid, Rick. But at the moment, 6 guys under 20-1. Bryson, Jordan, Justin, Rahm, Rory. Do you have a feeling any which way here? I will say, sort of breaking news, we do have confirmation. Baby Rahm is here. I think that is big news. I was going to be all about him in DraftKings regardless, hoping people weren't. From a betting perspective, in season preview type stuff around Christmas with Pat, he's always my pick to win the Masters. Never made a bet on it. Still don't know if I can at 14-1 or 13-1, but that is sort of my first instinct when looking at the guys under 20-1.
Yeah, I mean, Rahm certainly stands out, and now you remove any percentage chance that he was going to get the call with the 54-hole lead or something like that, and his wife was going to go into labor, and he was going to withdraw from this event. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. I got to tell you, Geoff, I am much more bullish on Bryson DeChambeau this time around than I was in November. I mean, if you flash back 6 months, there was a lot of talk about him using potentially the 48-inch driver. He never put it into play at Augusta National, but he used a club that he really couldn't control as well as the one he's using currently. And that's when he made the famous statement. I think he said, this is a par 68 for me. Well, that kind of slapped him in the face for the first couple of days, and he barely made the cut. But the driver that Bryson has put in the bag more recently, what he used at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, what he used at the Players, still gives him a significant edge over the rest of the field, but he's able to control it a lot more, and he doesn't have that left miss. The left miss at Augusta National, Geoff, it puts you into a lot lot of trouble, which is what we saw in November with Bryson. So I got to say, trying to parse out and split hairs between some of these guys at the top of the board, I'm a lot more bullish on Bryson now than I was just 6 months ago.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I'm just bothered by the fact that I was one of those people with those incredible early future numbers on Bryson. You know, he did go off his chalk, and yeah, I'm here for Bryson. I'm here for pretty much a bunch of these guys and can understand their place on the odds board. But before we move out of the range, I need to get your take on now Spieth. It is Sunday morning. We are talking. He might win Texas. He might shoot a 77. But regardless, he's going to be priced like a super elite next week at the Masters. Is that warranted in your opinion?
So I certainly think it is. This goes back further than Valero Texas Open. It goes back further than Pebble Beach. You know, a lot of these close calls that he's had recently. This all started at the Farmers, where he figured out something with his irons and his wedges, and he's been an absolutely excellent approach player since then. And you know, he's certainly the Steph Curry of golf. When he starts making a couple putts, when things start going in, good luck trying to stop him. And he's feeling himself right now, Jeff. I don't know how Valero is going to play out. I don't know if he's going to win this, but it certainly looks like he is in great position to at least try get the monkey off the back, that the no victory since 2017, and head right into Augusta National, a place that we know he has had so much success and requires you to have so much great experience and knowledge of the nuances on the greens. I mean, this number only gets shorter from here, and I completely think it's warranted.
We're at a fever pitch. Jim Nantz picked it in a Final Four broadcast in that incredible Zags UCLA game. Jim Nantz essentially made it his Masters pick. So that's where we are. I'm not looking to pick on Jordan, but I'm not here for any part of these prices. And I could, I'll be tempting. Like, you'll see some amazing plus money on matchups against him, against players like a month ago, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, you would have maybe run to play. But I'm not here for the win to bet on it, but I don't want to pick on him either. Geez, we could spend so much time talking about all of these guys. In less than 30 seconds, Rory McIlroy is a fix possible at Augusta. Are the struggles being overblown? Are we now going to cross a 20-1 number by the time people are ready to make their bets early next week?
I don't think so. I think we're getting an injection of public money here in the next couple of days. And Rory McIlroy is a guy who's always going to take a lot. I mean, if you just look at his box scores, you see a lot of top 10s, you see a lot of top 5 finishes. But if you look a little bit deeper than that, it appears that he has lost a lot of the control of his game. And my issue, Jeff, is Augusta National, it asks you to be in complete control. Yeah. And even when Rory was at his best, sometimes the putter would let him down. I mean, I have a lot of concerns at this point for him to be able to put it all together and beat this field.
Yeah, 100%. Rory McIlroy, that's a peak number using the odds checker grid currently of 19 to 1, while Jordan Spieth, a consortium of best numbers out there, is 12 to 1. Rick thinks that only gets lower. I sort of agree. He could shoot an 80. I don't think that number gets higher. An 80 in the final round of the Valero. Okay, we've got all those guys under 20 to 1. But, you know, the past history of majors, even Augusta, yes, Dustin did it, but this has kind of been a sweet spot range. We can back up into the winning range, not only of majors historically, but at Augusta in recent memory. Sergio in the mid-50s, I want to say. Reed in the mid-50s. All the love for Willett that did go off at 66. Tiger, DJ under 20, but, going to this 20 to 50 to 1 range, Rick, that is sort of where I feel my bets will be coming home this week.
Yeah, for sure. This is where I've made my first 2 bets this week. And it starts with Patrick Cantlay, who has just been phenomenal from tee to green. And he won the Zozo, Jeff. And think about this. Since his victory at the Zozo, he has recorded 2 separate course records, and he's missed 1 cut. Like, that's how absolutely dialed in this guy has been. He's in complete control of his game. And then one guy that we were just chatting about earlier is Paul Casey. Paul Casey still being hung with a pretty deep number out there. there at a lot of places. And if you look at his tee to green stats, he's been absolutely phenomenal, and they don't even count his victory on the European Tour. So by all accounts, he's been even better than what the stats you're going to see on, on the PGA Tour's website are. So those are the two guys that I am just absolutely laser focused on in what you've correctly identified as a range that disproportionately creates winners.
Yes. You've mentioned two guys that have survived multiple cuts on my list to find a winner. I'll take you behind my fourth wall, not too close. I love them both. The Paul Casey fact, Rick, finding numbers. Put it this way. This is Paul Casey to win the Masters, and using the odds checker grid, the best number I can find is 40-1, and I'm still thinking about it. That's how well Paul Casey is playing. Paul Casey, I said at the Players, I thought his 50 was short, and the books were trying to keep us off him. The books, in a very, I don't know if Cameron Tringali got to the finish line, but in a very Tringali sense, there's a numbers like too short. It's almost like the books are saying, don't bet him. We don't want to take Paul Casey action. Patrick Cantlay is consistent as they come. He is a guy very much on my short list. I love him for Augusta. He's a greens and reg monster. And outside of Patrick Reed, everybody who's won here has just been dominant. Not good, but dominant in the greens and reg statistic. There's a 22-1 out there. It is the high water mark. I'm hoping if Spieth wins, like that can become a 25-27 this week. That's certainly what's on my mind. Brooks Koepka, Rick, part of me is starting to think he is playing possum. He is playing possum. Like, I'm not saying he didn't have surgery, but he wants us. This just sets up for him perfectly. I'm starting to believe, as many people are contriving that it's not like it's a negative for Brooks. For the story of Brooks, I don't think it could be written any better. I'm seeing some high water numbers starting to come around, Rick, and 28-1 for Brooks Koepka. From an outright perspective, I bet guys that miss cuts all the time. If he's part of it, the taste, you trust him as much as anybody. Is he playing possum? Am I nuts?
What I like about the outright number, right, is I don't care if he finishes second or second to last. Like, I get paid
exactly.
I get paid on one spot, which I'm happy to go to battle.
Without an each way?
Correct.
One spot.
With Brooks Koepka, who I don't know if he's playing possum, but this doesn't it feel like, we're going to wake up Saturday morning or his post-round presser on Friday afternoon. It's going to be like, oh, like, did you forget I was coming here? Like, how did you let me fly under the radar, show up here, and now I'm like one shot off the lead heading into the weekend from some guy we've never heard of at the top who's shaking in his boots. Like, it kind of feels like that's where this is headed at this point without knowing anything else than he had a procedure done on his knee a couple of weeks ago.
And I would say like a month ago, like Brooks hasn't played in a bit, but is that worse than like Hovland or like an Im who are like trending in the wrong direction when a month ago you probably couldn't wait to maybe bet them at 40 or 50-1? So now I don't know, man. I think he's coming in fresh and ready, and he's not been crossed off. Like, he's keeps surviving cuts on my list in that range. The number that I have fired on, though, it is the bet that I have got 40-1. Rick, Daniel Berger. He checks so many boxes for me. He didn't get a play here in November. I don't know whether that's a positive or a negative, but he comes in form. He withdrew from the Honda, but I saw enough at the match play not to question injuries. He checks all my boxes, and I would trust him against any of those under 20-1 guys on a Sunday. Like, I would trust him to take down a dragon. I am in on Daniel Berger. That is the bet I have made.
The argument for Daniel Berger is that he has like this really high floor, which I agree with, but he also kind of has a high ceiling, right? I mean, he gained strokes in all four major categories. He doesn't have a hole in his game. He's won twice in his last, I think it's 18 or 19 starts worldwide. There's only a handful of golfers in the world who could tout that resume, and the absolute floor that he has, it gives him so many opportunities to put himself into contention. I think it's good that he didn't play in November. This course is going to play a lot different. It's going to be a lot more firm. It's going to be a lot more fast. He can maybe ride the snub of the November Masters a little bit for some bulletin board material. I like Daniel Berger quite a bit.
Yeah. Another guy I can't stop thinking about, but I'm like, am I going to, like, Paul Casey might be on the card, and I might bet Sergio Garcia, but I'm seeing 60-1s on Sergio. I agree. Like, part of Sergio, since winning the Masters, he's become like a mascot, like a ceremonial figure, especially in majors. His major track record is deplorable. I think he's going to be there or literally like dead last. But his form is so good. It's a place he obviously has had great success at. I keep staring at a 60-1 using that odds checker grid when their numbers as low as 40 out there. I am very attracted to Sergio Garcia this week. Am I nuts? Does it fit a lot of the Paul Casey stuff?
Yes, I'm warm. I'm not hot on Sergio, and the reason I don't know how he won the Masters with the way that he putts the ball. I don't know how it happened. He literally closed his eyes to get there. But what I will say in favor of Sergio is this: there is a really strong record of guys in about the 90 days leading into their Masters victory. They have just been one of the top 10 players on tour in strokes gained tee to green. A lot of these trends are doing it. DJ was the best on tour. Spieth was the best. Tiger was top 10. Willett didn't have enough rounds to qualify, but Sergio was in there as well, and he's doing it again. He's going to get to the green, no problem. It's just a matter of if the flat stick is going to cooperate for 4 rounds, and if he can close his eyes and do it again and figure it out, I like it. So I'm kind of warm, not nearly as hot, just because I'm worried that putter might not cooperate.
Yeah, I am looking forward to building a final card and watch my videos here on oddschecker.com. It is going to sort of be that 25. I'm hoping Cantley could get there. I could still pull that trigger at 22 because I've been staring at it like you. I didn't pull the trigger yet. But many intriguing names in that like 20 to 50 to 1 range. It really feels hyper unlikely that we are going to get something from down the board. But hey, we love to have fun. It's all an entertainment for us here, Rick. If you want to play each ways or deep placings, some of these guys will offer attractive numbers. The books will be competitive with one another in how they sort of try to compete for your money and use that odds checker grid to get that best number as they're competing. Who down the board has your eye, like down the board?
Yeah, so I think you've nailed it that, like, you know, these outright numbers are not all that appealing, but they also drive the top 10, the top 20 markets, so you can kind of consider those as well. And I've never said this, Phil Mickelson might be onto something. I'm not a Phil Mickelson guy, Jeff. I'm like certainly not, but I think he's starting to find something in his approach game. He has now made 5 consecutive, or in his last 5 starts, he has gained strokes on approach in 4 of them. He has not done that in over 2 years. So we're starting to see Phil Mickelson turn back the clock a little bit. And if there was ever a place where his experience is going to come in handy, it's going to be Augusta National. This is going to be his 29th trip. That's bonkers. 15 top 10s. And of course, the 3 victories along the way. When Phil Mickelson's name comes out of my mouth, it is because I have finally had to bend the knee to the metrics because he's looking good right now.
Yeah, I can't disagree. And you're seeing, how big of an outright are you seeing on Phil?
I was seeing 100. You can probably get it deeper than that. Unfortunately, Phil is obviously a very public guy at the Masters, but 100 is kind of the, let's see here, 160. Odds checker has on the grid a 160 number. So
that's pretty high. Over at FanDuel, they have a 90-1 on Louis, which could represent attractive things from the placings. I know you could laugh, like, am I picking Louis to win? No, but he's putting great. He's playing incredibly well. He checks so many boxes here. It's a really big number for a guy that's going to just probably linger. So that would be someone I'm looking at. And I don't know. My head is so focused on who's going to win. I'm not like wired to think like who's going to play well and try to show up. You know, I go there. There's lots of names that just come to my head quickly, like an Answer or Connors, but I don't see them winning.
No, I don't either. You know, I throw Ryan Palmer in there as well, who's played well at, you know, Torrey Pines, and his top 10s over the last 18 months have been at a lot of diverse courses, and we haven't seen him play the Masters in a while. So yeah, I agree with you. These are names that are probably not going to be donning a green jacket on Sunday evening, but they're certainly lingerers, as you put it. I like that word.
Yeah, they'll definitely linger, and they'll give you hope, and they'll send you to sleep like excited about something, but I don't know. I normally expect the worst when watching the golf. Not going to lie, Rick.
Yeah, sure.
I really appreciate you taking the time to join me to talk through this 2021 Masters board for oddschecker.com/US. Don't forget, enter the contest to win a free $100 from DraftKings Sportsbook. All you got to do is like the video, sub to the Odds Checker feed, leave a comment, tell us who you think is going to win the Masters. Leave your Twitter handle. We will announce a winner on Wednesday, and I look forward to doing more Masters content throughout the week. My final card will be up hopefully as soon as possible, hopefully tomorrow, to be perfectly honest. I'm not going to lollygag on that one bit. I'll fire my bullets. You can find Rick and his bullets over at rickrungood.com, and he's on Twitter at rickrungood, one of the best golf Twitter follows out there. Rick, have a great Masters, and on the way out, winner
Patrick Cantlay. Incomplete control. Yeah, he's got it. Thanks, Geoff.
Me, Daniel Berger. Those are just, one quick take picks to win the Masters. Everyone have an amazing Masters week. Hope you had a great Easter, and may the winners be yours.